Hi again, everyone. Um, we're going to take just a minute and do some dimensions on this. Now, I'm just going to do some basic dimensioning, and it's just going to go right around the building right here, right around the home. And then we'll come back in and add some stuff later as we go. We'll add in the fixtures and fittings, things like water closets, toilets, um, lavatories, which is bathroom sink, your vanities, your kitchen basins, your uppers and lower cabinets, your electrical symbols, your room labels, etc. But I like to put in my dimensions at this point. So I'm going to put mine in now. Um, you can use the annotate tool here, but I prefer to go to the actual annotate tool up here at the top because I like to work with these different tools under dimension, because chain dimensioning or continuous dimensioning is one of those things that we use in architecture that we don't use in other places. So I like to make sure I have the right tools open for the job. Now, other things I like to do. I'm going back to my home layer for just a moment. I turn the poche off, and the easiest way to do that is simply click on this button right here. It says off, and then click on it, and it turns it off. Okay. Um, and then I just hit enter once or right click and pick enter. But that way I get that poche out of the way, so I make sure I click on exactly where I want. Now, warning, these hatch layers, those are lines. You can actually snap to the individual piece of that line. The problem with turning that off right now is because that is actually on the brick layer, then my brick veneer would not be selected. If I want to, I can do that. Reason I am kind of hesitant to do that is, honestly, the brick veneer will go over the wall and you frame the wall and then add the veneer later. So you dimension to that wall and the veneer covered. So there are some different ways I've seen to do this. I prefer to do it literally this way, okay, and snap to the lines that I can hit. So I'm going to pull down and make sure I got my dim layer selected. Apparently we have a dim and a dims on this one, but I'm just going to go with the dim layer. And I'm going to start in on my annote right here with a linear dimension that goes from the corner of the house to the first thing I'm going to hit. Well, I don't measure the edges of windows and doors. I do measure the edges of brick, but not right now. I'm going to measure to the center of this window, and I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to space it about, notice how my text height, it's preset in our template. I'm going to get it what will print about 3/8 of an inch away from the house. So I'm going to go about 1, 2, 3 heights of the text out. And that's because that text will print about 1/8 of an inch tall. Then I'll go continue, and I'll work my way right across this house. So I go to the edge here, center of this door, center of this window, which is right there where the seam is, and then the edge out here. Once I hit the end, I hit enter once. I go back here to linear, and I start back at the same edge, and this time I go across the entire room. Well, in this case, it's also the wall. So I'll pull it out and place it about 2/8, so the text height again, away from that first one, about like so. And then I'll go continue again, and I'll go out here to the end of the house again. And then I'll hit my enter key and do this again. This time I'm going to dimension from one end of the house, because that's the whole wall right there, so I don't need it again. That's the whole wall right there. I'm going to dimension all the way across that front edge of the house, get it about 2 text heights away from the other one. There we go. That's how I dimension around the front of the house. Now I'm going to go down the side as well. I'm going to do this all the way around the house, but I'm using a linear dimension every time. So I'm going to pull out like so. There's 1 text height, 2, 3, about right there. And then just work my way right down the edge of the house. Now, here's a problem. How do I dimension that wall's location in space? Honestly, from the outside of the house, I don't, and I prefer to keep my dimensions outside of the house. Now, to do that, I'm going to end up having to put a dimension inside down in here, okay? And we got to be careful when we do that so we don't jam up or crowd things that we don't want crowded. So we're going to hold off on those dimensions on the inside of the house for a little bit, okay? So on linear, actually I already did the linear. I will continue down here to the middle of this door and then to the end of the building of the house, okay? Right click, enter. I'm going to do that and go back out here. Okay, just make sure I got enough space, linear. I'm going to go from the corner here to the corner there again. It should be the exact same measurement unless I pick something funny the first time, which is distinctly possible. Now I got to figure that out because see, I got 2 different dimensions this time. Okay, I can see why right there. All right, and then I'm going to go right here and go continue. Right down the end of the house, right here to the corner. Now, right click once, enter, and do 1 overall dimension from end of the house to end of the house. And Honestly, I prefer to do it this way because in my brain, I want to make sure I'm giving as clean information I can on both sides of the house. Now, here's the problem. When I snapped earlier, let me hit my escape key here. I snapped to a point right there. It's not at the end of the house. If that ever happens to you, grab the dot here, and you can use what we call a grip edit command and move them. Okay, I'm actually moving two of them so that I get this, which is exact measurements all the way down that side of the house. Okay, do the same thing across the back of the house here with the dimensions I had before. Start at the corner, make sure I get right on that end. Okay, center that. Oh, no, this and I go to the wall right there. Put that wall in first. Now, your dimensions, 1 height, 2 height, 3 height. I went to the, what is the right side of the wall in the view. In the example plans, we actually went to the left side of the wall. I honestly don't care what you do as long as all the numbers match up and I can read them correctly. So I'm going to go to there, go to the center, go to here, go to the center, go to the end of the house. Okay, right click, enter. So I don't care if you go on the right side or the left side of this wall, but always pick the same side of each wall. Got it? So linear, I'm going to do this again from here to here. Pull that up about 2 text heights. So there, then go continue. This time I'm doing the room size and room size. Enter. This time I'm going to go and do framed walls. So linear from here. Well, there's only one framed wall. It goes all the way to there. Pull it up about 2 text heights. Click. So that's how I do that across. Now, I will tell you right front, when I go back, I delete repeated dimensions. And I start from the inside and work my way out until I'm done with repeated dimensions. That's the way I was taught, and that's the way I still do it because it removes some ambiguity. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing I did on those other sides down this side of the house. Start right here on the corner. Make sure you get the corner. Then I'm gonna go up here to that. Okay, 1 text height, 2, about 3 is right there, and then I'm gonna continue. Then we go back here, and I will literally go like so across that room right there. And I honestly don't care if you go inside edges all the time, outside edges all the time. You do a mixture that makes some sense. There is some formal rules, but for beginning CAD, the measurements are more important than the fact that this room is the right size when framed is the most important thing. So linear again. I start here at the corner, and this time I'm going to go up to the same spot here, same spot here. Oh, Control Z. I don't know why it did that. Oh, that's why I did that, because I wasn't paying attention to what I clicked. So that one, and then continue. There. Okay, there, and then out to the end of the building. Enter. And then I'm going to go linear from here, full wall, full framed walls. Well, there's only one framed wall all the way down that side, 2 text heights out. There we go. Get rid of the inner one. There we go. Okay. So that takes care of my exterior dimensions. Now I'll go back in and I'll add in features and fixtures so that when I have to come in and add these interior dimensions, I'm missing, like, I don't know where that wall is in space right here, or this one. I don't know where that one, I know where this one is, but I'm not sure exactly where that one falls in space or this one. I'll come in and add them after I've got all my other features in so I'm not crowding up the world. That followed everybody? Okay. Good luck with that, and we will see you later. Bye.